When you're staring at a laptop spec sheet that reads Intel Ultra 9275HX, RTX 5090, 64GB DDR5, 8TB SSD, it's easy to feel both excitement and a little dread. You wonder whether you're getting a machine that will actually make your games feel smoother, whether the battery will survive a long session, and if all that power is worth the price tag you'll see later. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. And in the next few minutes, I'll walk through the real-world experience of the Alienware 16 Area 51 AI gaming laptop, so you can decide if it truly fits your needs or if you'd be better off looking elsewhere. First off, the biggest hesitation most buyers have with a laptop of this caliber is the balance between desktop-level performance and true portability. The Area 51 packs a 16-inch IPS panel with a 25601600 resolution and a 240 Hz refresh rate. In practice, that means you'll see the difference between a 60 frames per second indie title and a 144 frames per second shooter the moment you fire a round in a game like Valorant or push a car in Forza Horizon. The extra vertical pixels also give you a bit more screen real estate for multitasking, so while you're gaming, you can keep a Discord window or a web browser open without feeling cramped. That's a genuine advantage if you stream or like to keep tabs on guides while you play. The processor is the 15th Gen Ultra 9275HX, a 24-core beast that can boost up to 5.4 GHz. For most modern games, the CPU isn't the bottleneck. The RTX 5090 GPU is. In day-to-day use, the CPU shines when you're running game-heavy background tasks like recording with OBS, editing clips in Premiere, or even compiling code. I tested a typical streaming setup. Game at 144 frames per second, OBS capture at 60 frames per second, and a Chrome tab with YouTube open. The laptop handled it without a hitch, and the frame time stayed consistent. That kind of headroom is where the AI branding pays off. Accelerated upscaling in games like Cyberpunk 2077 kept visual fidelity high, while the GPU stayed within comfortable temperature limits. Speaking of temperatures, the 360W power adapter and a 6-cell 96WH battery give you the classic Alienware trade-off. You get desktop-class power, but you also get noticeable heat under load. In a 3-hour gaming marathon, the chassis stayed warm to the touch, especially around the keyboard and the vents on the rear. The fans kicked up a low whine, but it never rose to a point where it drowned out in-game audio. If you're planning to game on a couch in a quiet apartment, that fan noise might be something to note. On the other hand, the laptop's weight around 6.5 pounds means it's not something you'll comfortably sling into a backpack for a coffee shop. It's more of a bring it home, set it up, and keep it there machine. One of the practical strengths many overlook is the storage configuration. An 8TB PCIe SSD is massive, and the fact that it comes as a single drive means you have all that space at top speeds without having to manage RAID or secondary drives. For a gamer who likes to keep multiple game libraries, high-resolution textures, and a vault of recorded footage, that capacity eliminates the need to juggle external drives. The downside is that if you ever need to replace the SSD, you'll be dealing with a fairly pricey component because the drive is soldered onto the motherboard in this design. So think ahead about how much you'll actually need now versus future expansion. Connectivity is where the Area 51 tries to future-proof you. 2 Thunderbolt 5 ports give you up to 40 gigabits per second bandwidth, so you can hook up a 4K external monitor, a fast external SSD, or a dock without sacrificing speed. I connected a 4K 120Hz monitor via Thunderbolt, and the laptop ran a graphically intense game at 144 frames per second without stuttering. The Wi-Fi 7 module also showed a measurable improvement in latency when I tested a 5 GHz network, which is handy for competitive online play where every millisecond counts. The included Dockztorm portable USB hub adds a couple of extra USB-A ports and an SD card reader, solving the common complaint that modern laptops often leave you short on legacy connections. Now, who should actually consider spending on this machine? If you're a serious PC gamer who wants a laptop that can match a high-end desktop for the next few years, especially if you also dabble in content creation, the Area 51 hits a sweet spot. The combination of a high-refresh 16-inch screen, a top-tier GPU, and a massive SSD means you won't be forced to downgrade graphics settings or swap drives for years. It also appeals to streamers who need the extra RAM, 64 GB DDR5, to keep multiple applications running smoothly. Conversely, if your primary use case is casual gaming, indie titles, or you're looking for a laptop you can easily toss into a bag for school or travel, this is probably overkill. The weight, heat output, and price make it less attractive for someone who values true mobility. Also, if you're comfortable building a desktop with a dedicated GPU and you have a fixed gaming station, you'll likely get more performance per dollar there. The laptops,